Hi, I'm Alex Pault, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Talking Timepieces, where we talk about the latest in watch collecting and horology. Sometimes not always the latest. In this case, I have something that's relatively new. Let's take a look at my Carrera 2 skeleton Tag Heuer. It's a very nice piece. An excellent sports watch, fantastic travel watch, a great weekender. Wouldn't call it a daily wear, but it's a really fun watch. So let's flip the camera around and take a close-up look. Here's the Tag Heuer Caliber 2 column wheel chronograph, GMT. Like I said, it's a fantastic sports watch, great weekender. And a fun techie watch overall. Let's move it a little bit more center there. There are several things I want to point out about the design, which I really like. First off, I like that there's very, very fine print here and here, saying that, you know, it's a column wheel chronograph, it's the Carrera, and you know, tells you a little bit about the kind of watch it is. It does say twin time right here, giving you the tip off that it is a GMT. If the big red GMT hand didn't tip you off. As you see, it has a two-tone fixed outer bezel done in black and blue, but I doubt you could say that this is trying to look like a GMT master. The striking thing about it that I like is the fact that they picked out the chrono wheels. They left the running seconds dark, and they picked out the chrono wheels. So at first glance, it looks kind of like a bicompax until you look closer, and then you see that running seconds underneath, you see. So we've got the running seconds here, and then these are the minute and hour totalizers, the subdials there. And as you see, it says Tag Heuer. And another nice touch is the date here. You see, it is a skeletonized face. You can see the number track going around under the crystal. And then there's a little white blank here, so that way that's when you see the number. So it's just a really striking piece. It's got rubber fitting on the crown, which I like. It makes it nice and grippy. It is not a screw-down crown. It is not a screw-down crown, but then again, it's not a diving watch. It's a sports and travel watch. It does have a reasonable amount of water resistance. Let's flip it over, and we'll take a closer look at the back of it as well. As you see, it's got the red column wheel, which is what Tag Heuer does to show that it's an in-house movement. It's got a very nice counterweight, and you can see the balance wheel beating away in there. It's got some very nice Côte de Genève and some perlage in there. It's a very well finished piece for a sports watch. And as you see, it says on it Swiss made. 100 meters, so it's 10 atmospheres. So essentially, it's a really nice sports watch. I mean, it's very techy, very chunky. It has a really, really, really big presence, both in the flesh, in your hand, and on the wrist. Let's put it on the wrist. Wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Tudor Black Bay Heritage, which is also a very, very, very nice piece. I intend to do a full piece on this. I've talked about it in other videos, but I haven't done a focused review yet. And so let's just do a couple of things before I put it on. Let's look at it all around. You notice I like the way that the lugs taper very aggressively because it is a big watch. So having the lugs taper this aggressively will help it sit on the wrist. It doesn't have an integrated bracelet, but it is nicely done with a nice bracelet with solid end links. So it does have an integrated look. You've got the Tag Heuer shield on the crown. The pushers have got colored highlights, as does this nice ring, this red ring underneath. Now, you don't see the red ring from the front, but because of the shininess, you catch red highlights all the time when you're turning the watch around. So we put this on the wrist. As you see, it's a single deployant. Unfortunately, there is no real micro adjustment, so you have to do it by the link. So it's going to either be a little bit loose or a little bit tight. In my case, I made it a hair loose. It fits me pretty well, actually, so I can't complain about that. And it is a striking piece. It really does have a lot of wrist presence. Let's move this out of the way so we have a nice clear background. And just, I mean, it really does. Like I said, the curved lugs help it sit. I've got an 18 and change wrist, 18 centimeter, about 18 and a quarter centimeter, depending on how much I've been eating lately. But it fits very well on my wrist. My wrist top to bottom is about 16 and a half centimeters. And well, when I take it off, we'll do some quick measurements. But as you see, it just is a really sharp-looking piece. A lot of wrist presence, beautiful watch. Column wheel chronographs, nice and crisp. Snaps, feels very positive, and you can hear a nice, crisp, audible snap whenever you activate it. Beautiful piece. Zoom back in again. There we go. You're getting to see the edges of my little mat that I use. As I said, it's a GMT piece. Let's get the measurements out of the way before I talk some more about it. We're looking at 45. It's advertised as 45, and this is coming out to 45. And thickness, it's pretty thick. It's pretty thick. It's 17 thick, pretty much. And lug to lug is its saving feature. It's pretty short lug to lug. It's 51. But no, this is a huge piece. It has a lot of wrist presence. I mean, when you think about another large travel watch that I have in the collection that you would compare it to, I've got a 44 millimeter, also GMT, also chronograph, Breitling Navitimer. And as you see, because of the white bezel on the Breitling, it pops a little bit bigger than the 44 it is. So in comparison, this one still looks bigger. I mean, these are both pretty big pieces. And the advantage of it is this is not a true GMT in the sense that the hour hand does not jump without hacking the movement. You have to reset the movement to set the time on this watch. And on this one, you do not have to. If you pull it out to the first stop, you can adjust the day. You see, if you look at the date, you'll see I can adjust the day in one direction, and I can adjust the hour hand in the other without hacking the movement. So it's not as completely practical as a watch with a completely independent jumping hour hand, but the fact that it is an independent hour hand, you can scroll to the proper time and then just flip to the proper date without hacking the mechanism. And the reason it's important for a GMT watch to have a jumping hour hand that doesn't hack the mechanism is, what if you travel somewhere, the pilot says, okay, we're XYZ time zone, and there's no local time reference that either A, you trust, or B, is available. You might be in an island paradise, and the local clocks are all running on 57.5 hertz time, which is a little electrical joke. In other words, they're all running slow. And you don't want to change the time on your watch, but you want to change the hour. You could jump the hour forward. A watch that does that And another relatively large piece, blue ceramic, not a chrono, but it does have a jumping hour hand, see, without hacking the mechanism. But then this is the Mont Blanc Geosphere. This GMT module is an in-house GMT module. It does have a base module from Solida, I believe it is, but the Geosphere's GMT World Time module is their own, which is why this is such a phenomenal presentation. So the Tag Heuer Carrera column wheel chronograph GMT is, yeah, great watch. Fantastic sports watch, a fun weekender, and all in all, just a really, really cool, techie, fun watch to wear. So thanks for taking the time to listen. Please subscribe. It really helps the channel. And of course, thank you for watching. I'll flip the camera around now and we'll close out the episode. So that was the Tag Heuer Caliber 2 Carrera Skeleton GMT column wheel chronograph. Fun watch. Bit techie and gadgety, but sometimes you want that. Thanks for taking the time to be with me, and please subscribe. It really helps.